Lines on the front page of the Vanguard. Ifeoluwapo Adeniyi, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Hi, Edmund. It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
The headlines you see on the pages of the newspaper, do they make you feel at home?
Well, not really. But
so how do you feel?
I feel sad that things are the way they are presently in Nigeria. Before I left, I used to say unprecedented level of security in the country. Just this morning, I was thinking about that, and I realized that even now, it has grown in great proportions, so that we've never had it like this before in our history. And the question becomes, why?
Why? On the front page of The Nation, relocation call. Etisalat orders disown northern leaders. Threaten legal action. Say NEF, CNG can speak for them. Ango Abdullahi to Fulani groups. We don't need your permission to speak. You find that on the front page of The Nation. On the front page of The Nation, State of the Nation, Obasanjo not neutral, says presidency. Article star witnesses claim unknown whistleblower gave information on INEC server. Petitioners close case as PEPC, that is Presidential Election Tribunal. INEC opens defense on July 29th. I don't have money. Please release my mother. Siasia begs kidnappers. Prominent Nigerians at the receiving end of kidnapping. Southwest Governor Flay call for Fulani to leave southern Nigeria. Can you feel the headlines? Everyone is calling. Everyone is threatening fire. We need to calm down. We need to calm down. We are heating up the space. Everyone is threatening fire, Ife.
Those are drums of war, Edmund. I remember reading a book about the Rwandan genocide recently, and the fact that it also started like this, that ethnic tension between the Hutus and the Tutsis. And afterwards, you had 100 days of killings. So we must be careful about utterances at this point. Tensions are high, there are ethnic suspicions, and there are vitriol utterances flying around. It doesn't help at all. So I feel that more than ever before, like you said, we must calm down. At the end of the day, the Nigerian project belongs to all of us, and we must ensure that we do not fail.
Did Buhari's body language result in the crisis we are having today?
His body language is very sterile. He's a very impersonal person, and he doesn't communicate like someone who has the charisma to address the problems in Nigeria. And that is why some people feel that this present administration shouldn't have been re-elected in the first instance. For instance, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, wrote a letter. And I was wondering why the Nigerian elite conspired and ensured that a Buhari came again. This is just 4 months after the election. It's not as if he has done anything new or he hasn't done anything. The fact remains that we saw this for 4 years and then we re-elected the same person. His body language doesn't suggest he understands what is happening or that he has the will to do the right thing.
On the front page of the Saturday Punch, Etisalat to herdsmen. Defend yourselves against ethnic militia groups. Vows to hold governors responsible for attacks. It is invitation to chaos. OPC Ohaneze, Ijo Youth Council. Oni pays second visit to Villa, meets Oshibajo.
Increasingly, what we will have is the militarization of ethnic groups, and it won't help us at all.
Militarization of ethnic groups. Look at the headline again. Etisalat to herdsmen. Defend yourselves against ethnic militia groups. vows to hold governors responsible for attacks. Then look at the one on the front page of the Saturday Vanguard. Echoes of war. We will react if killings continue. Now you begin to ask, do we have leadership in Nigeria?
Well, leadership in Nigeria, Edmund, has failed. Kalmeya, in his book, what's the title?
This House
again?
Has Fallen.
This House Has Fallen, which he wrote in the early 90s, he said that Nigeria is an underdeveloping country. Today, Nigeria still stands in that exact position, and it is very, very sad, Edmund.
On the front page of The Guardian, I will miss Funke so much, says husband. Breaks long silence as he weeps uncontrollably.
Well, I can only imagine what they are going through right now. We cannot really understand. Sad news there, Edmund. I know that only God consoles people, in times like this, and humans can't do it. So they should look up to God for consolation. But there are many Funkes out there, Edmund. There are many people who are daily being kidnapped in the country. There are many people who are being robbed in the country, raped in this country. There are many families in need in this country. So at the end of the day, you realize that we are all casualties. We may not be shot today. Do we know our fate tomorrow? We do not know. We only know that we exist within a space of general insecurity and that everyone is vulnerable.
Edo crisis. I can't nominate federal appointees. Obaseki laments. You find that on the front page of the Saturday Punch. Killings. Police begin recruitment of 40,000 part-time constables in August. Fans suspend security herds over stowaway arrested at Lagos Airport. Killings. Police begin recruitment of 40,000 part-time constables.
Well, I don't think that is the problem to the general insecurity we have in the country today. We must first understand the structure of this insecurity. And what we have is just a response to the violence that the Nigerian state has meted on its people. So if you understand it that way, you'll realize that what you call Boko Haram, killer herdsmen, or Fulani herdsmen, they are all responses and reactions to how the state has, over the years and over a long stretch of government, raped our peoples. So the people are raping the government back. You cannot have 40,000 policemen out there who would be underpaid, who will be underfed, helping the insecurity issues in Nigeria. What we need to do, really, is to go back to the basics. What is the problem? Governance. What has governance done wrong? We have a deep or entrenched level of poverty in the country that has, over the years, engendered things like illiteracy. And all of a sudden, the population ballooned, and we have this total chaos. So we must go back to that basics. Unless we solve that problem of governance, which in turn solves the poverty problem, nothing is going to happen. Deploy 100,000 policemen. It won't make Nigeria any safer, Edmund.
Even the policemen will become sources of insecurity.
Of course, they are at the moment, because they equally are living in abject material conditions. So it doesn't help that you have so many of them out there. For instance, some Nigerians are earning 10,000 naira per month. What can that do to anyone? I can bet that 50% of Nigerians as we speak don't have more than 10,000 as expendable per month. In that general atmosphere, there will be crisis, there will be chaos, there will be a total state of war, and that is what we're experiencing today. And the sad news, Edmund, is that this is just the beginning. It is going to continue because the outlook of this government is not one that is out to solve social problems. Fine, they real all the facts that they are doing this and that GDP has increased, but is that the truth? No.
Ugo Pascal Numonu is on Facebook. He says, Dear Edmund, the amalgamation of 1914 was certainly one of the beginnings of our national problem. The fusion created a political dream, but the dream was elusive and never realistic. Dr. Onumonu continues, a dream that does not carry hope is a facade. At independence, the North was not ready for a single union, while the South was dreaming of one big nation that would make the whole black race proud in the Committee of Nations. With the political mastery of the British, defined by their national interest, the North emerged stronger shortly before the Biafran War and the post-war era. Dr. Numano continues, saying that the story is different now. You can see that it wasn't our sincerity of purpose that brought us together. It is all about the thing beneath the ground, oil. Onumanu prays that Nigeria will truly emerge soon. He says it is not a nation yet. Remember, I brought Dr. Onumanu, a historian, on the show. That was 2 weeks ago. I'll be releasing his video soon so that you also look at his perspective, because his PhD thesis addressed the Biafran question. Oladele Olukunle Julius is saying that the birds have to look for their green pasture when their habitation is not secure on the tree anymore. Radio man, we are the enemies of the tree. The lines are open. Join the conversation. 080-915-510-55. Hello. Hello.
My name is Ayorinde Bolaji.
All right, Bolaji Ayorinde.
From Police Mumbai.
All right, make your point. All right, that line.
Well entrenched in our constitution. This has been the base and the genesis of the problem of this country. I don't know how this constitution comes about, whereby we have two great religions in the world, Christianity and Islam. And if Sharia is well entrenched, I remember your discussion with Professor Vaughan. You said Olusegun Obasanjo, our former president, due respect, said Sharia was illegal. How can it be illegal when we have it in the Constitution? That's my question.
All right, thank you for calling the radio station. Sharia in the Constitution, I have to look at that comprehensively. This one is coming from Israel. It says, Dear Edmund, I do not know. It seems our hope is long dead, and there is no tomorrow. Adekboju Adeyemi is saying, Radio man, it is water, water everywhere, but none to drink. The lines are open. Ifeoluwapo Adeniyi is on State Affairs. Hello. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning, Mr. Edmund.
Good morning.
Yes, I would like to make few contributions as regards what Prof just said. Prof has given us the demographic dimension pattern as regards the introduction of Sharia. He said the northern elite believe the Nigerian law has failed the Nigerian people. So they believe Sharia law will rescue. So what are the context in Sharia punishment against any crime? So I think we can now juxtapose the crime, perhaps the punishment the Sharia law can give to any crime, and it's against the Nigerian law, a punishment Nigerian law can give to any crime. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling the radio station. Algeria beat Senegal 1-0 to lift AFCON trophy. You find that on the front page of the Punch. The lines are still open. Join the conversation.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Comrade Sade Modagbe from UI.
Sadui Modagbe from UI.
I think in Sharia, I'm a Muslim. I read Arabic and Islamic studies. It's a total way of life, and it takes a very high quality to life. That is why in Islam, he who kills, he should be killed. In fact, in the verse of Quran says that he who kills a man is as if he has killed the whole world. So you can see that in some part of the world, even China, and that it is working. Because the value of human being, even when you loot, when a person loots the resources, it's like killing a nation. You kill the resources of the country, it's like killing a nation. So that's why I don't, we are running away from it. I don't know, a time will come that rather than a policeman be killing somebody because of partner, we should look how that law should be applicable so that people should value life. Lastly, I want to look at this security in two perspectives shortly. We have political violence and criminal, political agitation and criminal violence. So Buhari cannot use political agitation to solve criminal violence. If the herdsmen are disturbing us today, we need to go back to the drawing table and discuss how we can come back to our values, being one Nigeria, so that you can unite to live together as one country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadui Modagbe. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away.